They say money stops all tears, but for Fega and Mandy, money was just the salt in their wounds. Would you sell your tomorrow to fix your today? Watch until the end to see the price they paid. In the flashy streets of Lagos, beauty isn't just a gift, it's a currency. Mandy was the Sunday. She was a top-tier influencer, a girl whose face lived on every billboard from Ikeja to Lekki. When Mandy walked into a room, the air seemed to stop. She was dating Chief Benson, a man so wealthy he bought cars like people buy bread. But every sun has a shadow, and Mandy's shadow was Fega. Fega was Mandy's childhood friend, but in this city she was just the help. Fega was the one who carried the heavy ring lights. Fega was the one who edited Mandy's skin to look like silk, while her own stayed rough. Fega was plain. She had deep tribal marks she had been taught to hate, and skin that stayed dull no matter how much whitening cream she applied. I am the one who does the work, but she is the one who gets the praise. I am the ghost, and she is the goddess. Is this all my life will ever be? A footstool for a queen? One night, the sun began to fade. Mandy came home, smashing her expensive glass vanity. She had found a wrinkle, a tiny line near her eye that felt like a death sentence. Chief Benson looked at a 19-year-old girl today, Fega. Mandy screamed. If I lose my face, I lose my life. I won't go back to the gutters. I won't. Mandy grabbed Fega's hands. Her grip was cold. There is a place, Fega. The glass room. A penthouse in Victoria Island where age doesn't exist. But I can't go alone. I need a donor. They drove through the rain to a building that had no name on the gate. Inside, the glass room was clinical, white, and filled with thousands of mirrors. An elderly woman with the face of a teenager approached them. She was the keeper of masks. The ritual is simple, the keeper whispered. Mandy, you want to stay 21 forever. Fega, you want to escape the hunger of your village. If you give Mandy your essence for 6 months, she will remain a goddess. You will not die, Fega, but you will be invisible. People will see a blur where your face should be a blank space. In exchange, Mandy will compensate you with 50 million. Mandy pleaded, Fega, please. You're already plain. Nobody looks at you anyway. Give me 6 months of your face, and I'll give you a life you can only dream of. Fega looked at the golden contract. She thought of her mother's leaking roof. She thought of the hospital bills. She signed her name in gold-flecked blood. The ritual was silent, a silver mist moving from Fega's chest into Mandy's eyes. When it was over, Mandy looked supernatural. Her skin glowed like it was lit from within. But Fega looked into the mirror and screamed. There was no nose, no mouth, no eyes, just a glowing, humming blur. Fega took her first 10 million and went back to her village to hide for the 6 months. But the horror was only beginning. When she walked into her mother's hut, her mother didn't run to hug her. Her mother grabbed a cutlass and screamed, "Who is this ghost? I hear my daughter's voice, but I see a demon with no face." Fega realized the truth. To be invisible didn't mean people ignored you, it meant they feared you. She spent her days under a heavy veil, eating alone, crying into a face she could no longer feel. She tried to call Mandy, but the new Mandy was too busy. Mandy had blocked her. Mandy was living the life Fagor had paid for with her soul. 4 months passed. Fagor began to feel a deep pain in her bones. She went to a local herbalist who looked at her blur and shook his head. "My daughter, this is not just beauty you gave away. This is your life force. That mask is a parasite. It is feeding on you to stay beautiful. By the 6th month, there will be nothing left. You will vanish completely." Fagor realized she had been set up. Mandy wasn't borrowing the face, she was consuming it. Driven by pure survival, Fagor returned to Lagos. She wore a thick black veil and gloves. She tracked Mandy to a high society masquerade ball hosted by Chief Benson. The irony was bitter, everyone was wearing masks, but only Fagor's mask was her missing skin. She cornered Mandy in a luxury bathroom lined with imported Italian marble. "It's been 4 months, Mandy. I'm dying. Look at me. I'm disappearing." Fagor screamed. Mandy, staring at her reflection, replied calmly, "Look at this glow, Fagor. Chief proposed today. I'm going to be a billionaire's wife. I can't give it back now. I'll send you another 20 million. Go back to the village and die quietly. You were always a shadow, Fagor. Now you're just a quieter one." Mandy turned to walk away, but Fagor grabbed her. The blur of Fagor's face began to spark with purple electricity. Fagor remembered the keeper's words. The mask is held by the reflection. Fagor didn't strike Mandy. Instead, she picked up a heavy brass statue and smashed the great mirror, crack. Then another mirror, shatter. Then another, boom. The ritual was tied to the reflection. Without mirrors to hold the image, the mask had nowhere to live. The mask began to peel off Mandy's face in large, porcelain-like chunks, like a doll breaking apart. Mandy screamed as her beauty fell to the floor in grey, dusty pieces. Underneath, Mandy wasn't just plain. She was a husk, a face that looked like it had lived 1,000 years of greed. Fagor's face rushed back her tribal marks, her dull skin, but also her eyes, her mouth, herself. She could see again. Security guards burst in. They saw a beautiful girl in a veil, Fagor, and a creature in silk, Mandy. Chief Benson took one look at Mandy's cracked grey face and recoiled in disgust. "Get this creature out of my sight!" Mandy was dragged away, covering a face that would never be beautiful again. The glass room was shut down a week later. The keeper had vanished. Fagor returned to her village. She still had part of the 10 million she had used to fix her mother's house and build a small clinic. She sat in the sun, selling her zobo once again. Mandy wanted to be a goddess, but she became a myth of horror. Fagor wanted to be seen, and she learned something powerful. The only person who truly needs to see you is the one in the mirror. My dear besties, beauty is a shadow that follows the sun, but character is the rock that remains when the sun goes down. Would you trade your face for a pile of gold? Would you let your best friend become invisible so you could shine? Think twice, because the mirror never forgets.